Traders, and welcome to the weekend update on August 27th. Steve Ganz. I am still in Scotland at this point in the Highlands. I've got a little better internet connection, so wanted to get this done. This is the equity curve of all of the trades that I've made in the service since December 1st of 2022. Now keep in mind all these trades are being made in relatively small size. I try to keep the maximum risk at about $2,500. So, and we have anywhere from 3 to 5 trades open at a time. So could be anywhere from $5,000 in risk open trades up to about $12,500 in risk. So as you can see, this represents, well over 100% return over these months based on the amount of capital that is generally being used. I do also want to point out this particular move right here, this move from here up to here was not something probably that other traders would have experienced. I explained this in last week's episode where this was me trying to get out of a calendar trade. And the way it played out, I had a problem getting out of it. I had to call the trade desk to close out one of the legs. By the time they closed out one of the legs, I was fortunate. Okay, so this shows the P&L of all of the trades that have been made in the service that have closed. And then this is a listing of those trades where we can see that I've provided 78% winners, 21% losers, average days in trade, 15.8, 82 total trades. The smallest and largest trade, the largest loss, largest gain, and then our average loss, average gain. So all of the stats surrounding the various trades. And of course, they result in this particular equity curve. So overall, so as I mentioned, I've got a little bit slower connection here, so I paused a minute for that to load. So we've got, I've got the Google trade, which is a wheel trade where I keep selling puts with the intent of someday Google pulling back and me getting assigned 100 shares of Google. Then I've got this particular trade that closes or that expires on 9/15 in SPX. And then this is a new calendar that was just opened. This was opened on Friday, and so it's currently at a scratch. Then this Apple trade, which opened as a put credit spread, and then I added a call credit spread to turn it into an ironcondor. So that one's open as well. We closed one trade out this week, and that particular one trade was a broken wing butterfly. It was a really good learning trade, so I urge people to go and play that trade back. That's going to be this one right here that has the X on it. Now I'm going to move this trade, as I do with all the trades, I'm going to move it into the archived trades, and you can go back and replay it there. You'll see that in this trade circle, I've done a video specifically relating to this trade where I walk through all the various adjustments that we did. Again, this was a good learning trade from an adjustment standpoint, so I urge everyone to take a look at that. Right now, again, my game plan here, I'm going to come in and I'm going to, well, I'll come back to that. I'm going to, again, remove the X from this, and I'm going to take this and move it into the archive trades. And there's about, I don't know, maybe about 100 different archive trades there at this point that people can go back and play through. I didn't prepare videos walking through all of them, but I'm trying to do that going forward. So many of them will, in fact, have a walkthrough video that goes along with that respective trade. So let's take a look at our market and see kind of what expectations might be. And I think, as you guys know, because I am traveling, I am in Scotland, I'm on the motorcycle during the day. Obviously, it's nighttime here when I check in, but I'm not looking at this at all during the day. I'm coming in the last 90 minutes or so of the market and making any changes or adjustments that are needed. And even though we've had some very large swinging days, these butterflies are very resilient, and that's one of the benefits of them. That's one of the values I find in them, is that they don't require a great deal of attention, and it is the type of trade, particularly if you put them on a few weeks out, it's the type of trade that you can come in and really only need to monitor them in the last hour or so of the day. And ideally, I don't want to take these near expiration, because if you get near expiration, the gamma gets too high, meaning that a market swing like what occurred here could have a huge impact if your gamma is high. But the trades that I'm doing, boy, I don't know why I'm getting all the drawing over here, but the trades that I'm doing, because I'm closing them out well in advance of expiration, the gamma never gets that high. So I'm getting in a trade, working to get my 10, 15, 20%, sometimes maybe a little more on a trade, and then get out and move on to the next one. So as far as market expectations, much like I said the prior couple of weeks, I would expect the high to be right here around 44.50. And if you go back and look at last weekend's, I kind of said the same thing when the market was all the way down here, that I didn't anticipate that we'd probably go below, this mark here, the 44.26 range. And I also didn't really anticipate that we would get above 44, call it 44.50. And that's really exactly the range that we're in right now. And unless something knocks us out of this range, I would fully anticipate kind of being in that same range for the balance of the next probably couple of weeks. I just think we're due for a little bit of sideways consolidation at this point. So that's my expectation on the market. I might look to add in yet another trade at some point this week. And again, if the market is still in this range, when I add that trade, I'm going to be adding that trade with the premise that we're still going to be continuing forward in this general range. So I'll structure most likely a butterfly that will be profitable within that general range of the 43.50, 44.50 in there. So that's kind of the wrap up for this Sunday, August 27th. As always, if anybody has any questions, please ask them in the comments area. And also, please give me a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Thanks so much. Take care, everyone.